Hello everybody, in this lecture we're going to learn about default arguments and functions. Let's get started. So what are default arguments? Well, let me just show you. So let's go ahead and declare a function, okay? Let's void add, okay? And we're going to declare it. Great. Now what does add do? It's gonna add two numbers, right? That's what we're gonna do, okay? So cout x plus y. Let's go ahead and put int x, int y. And we're gonna call this function, okay? And we're gonna put 50 and 20. So what's gonna happen? We just call the function add with the parameters 50 and 20. And we're going to put them here. X is going to equal 50, y equals 20, and it's going to add it up and display it, okay? So we're going to click run, and we get 70. That's pretty cool. But today's lecture is about default arguments. So what is it? Well, for example, let's say I don't know what y equals. So if we remove 20, what's going to happen? It's going to give us a big fat error, okay? Because there's not enough parameters. The add function is expecting two parameters, x and y, but it's not getting it because I'm only putting 50. So what can we do about this? Well, we can put int y equals 30. This is perfectly possible. So now we can call the function with ease. 50 is for x. Okay, so we're calling the function add, and we're inputting 50 for x. But we don't have to, it's optional. We don't have to input a value for y because it already knows. We set a default argument, okay? It says, okay, pretty much if there is no value for y, then just put 30. That's the default. Okay, but if we were to put, let's say 20, then we get 70. Because this 20 overrides the value for y. So at first it will equal 30, but it realizes, okay, now it equals 20. So we're overriding it, pretty much changing it. So let's write two of them, add 50, okay? So we're calling the function in two different ways, okay? One without the y value, and one with. So one without referencing and one with, okay? And we're gonna click run and we get 80, 70. Let's go ahead and put an inline. Great. And so we got 80 and 70. Why is that? Well, if we look at this first one, it only has 50, okay? We're passing 50 for x, okay? And so when we put 50 for x, it doesn't know what y equals. We're not passing a value for y, so it does 50 plus 30, which is 80. You guessed it, okay? And now if we do this second one, right, it outputs 70 down here, because 50 plus 20, okay, 20 replaces this 30. Okay, we're overriding it pretty much. This is the default if we're not passing a value to it. But now, since we are, it's going to equal 20. So 50 plus 20 equals 70. That's what we got here. So this outputs 70, 80. Let's look at another scenario, okay? So we're going to put volume. Rather interesting. And let's make this an int. Okay, just to spice things up a bit, okay? And we're going to do return x times y times z. Okay, and we need to declare a z, right? So int z equals 1. Let's just make them all equal 1. Int x equal 1. Okay, so there's three parameters in this volume function, okay? Go change this up a bit. Now, for this function, what's pretty awesome about it, we don't even have to pass a value to it. All variables here have a default argument, which is pretty amazing. So if we click run, we should maybe, there we go. So it gives us 1. Why is that? Well, we called the volume function, right? And since we're not passing a value to it, the function is going to use its default values, which is 1, 1, and 1. It multiplies them all, and then we display it, okay? But what if we did something a little different, okay? As you can see, we have 4 of them now. Now let's go ahead. Actually, you know what? We should have put an end line. That would have been very helpful. Let's just copy it. Great. So we're gonna pass one value in this one. We'll put 5. Okay. Next one we're gonna put 5 and 10. And the next one we'll put 5, 10, and 7. Okay. Let's give it a try. And so great. So we have 1. So we have 4 different outputs, right? 4 lines and 4 cout statements, right? So the first one is 1, which we kind of discussed. 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. Okay? 5, well, we passed 5 for x, so 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 10, so x is 5, y is 10. 5 times 10 times 1 is 50. And you get the point, okay? So 5, 10, and 7, we're overriding all the default values. 5 times 10 is 50, times 7 is 350, okay? And so what have we learned in this lecture? You don't have to pass a value to a function unless you set a default value, which is very helpful in many scenarios, all right? I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.